Greetings, my friends. Thank you for watching this video, and if you would be so kind, please subscribe if you like what you see. Help our channel to keep growing and keep fighting the war to save pop culture. Together, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. Enjoy, and thanks. My friends, Harvey and I have just seen Trek Picard, and after some intensive drinking and shock therapy, we are ready to make our witness.
Indeed we are, oh dread overlord. Trek Picard is a sad waste of time, so let's waste some time bitching about it.
Sounds good to me, Harvey. People, Trek Picard and Trek Disgracery are so bad, they have forever tainted the Star Trek brand. Someone asked me in a recent live stream, can Star Trek ever be saved? If it was wrested away from Kurtzman and Abrams, if they brought in people who know and love Star Trek, could it ever possibly come back? To which I replied, let me put it this way. Once you've seen your dog eat his own poop, you can't unsee that, and you never want to let that dog lick you again. So it is with Kurtzman's sick and perverted version of Star Trek. The level of incompetence and stupidity in every single episode of Kurtzman Trek is staggering and unparalleled. In the wild, wolves are known to chew off their own legs just to escape watching STD and Picard. And those wolves are wise, my friends. I wish I could escape watching it just by chewing my own leg off, but since it's my channel and you want to know what these clowns are up to now, I was forced to watch it, and therefore, here is my review. Trek Picard, in its opening sequence, tries to gin up excitement, showing a starship under assault with lots of boom-de-boom explosions and flashes and sparks and so on, but fails completely because after all these years in production, Kurtzman and Goldsman and every other so-called creative on this project, and I use that term with so much sarcasm that even speaking the word creative in conjunction with Star Trek Picard just gave me a hernia. None of these so-called creatives has any idea what makes for actual suspense and drama. They don't seem to understand that in order to feel suspense, you have to care about the characters, and to care about the characters, you have to actually have characters in your story. But there are no real characters here to care about, and so in this first sequence featuring Picard's old ship, the Stargazer, under attack, despite all the explosions and pew-pews and random crew members dying, there is no suspense whatsoever because A, we don't give a shit about any of these people, and B, everyone in the Star Trek universe is already dead. That's right, gang. Season 2 is a completely hollow exercise because all life in the Star Trek universe was destroyed at the end of Season 1.
What? If everyone died in Season 1, how can there be a Season 2? Are you shitting me?
I shit you not, Harvey. The Star Trek universe was sterilized of all life in Season 1 of Picard, and the reason we have Season 2 is because the writers were too stupid and incompetent to realize that they had killed everyone off. This is indisputable fact, and I covered it in a recent video, the link to which is in the video description, but make no mistake, right off the bat, this show is a joke, with a hollow action sequence involving hollow characters, all of whom are dead because all life in Star Trek Picard Season 1 was eradicated when the android named Soji called super advanced AIs to come kill everyone, and despite her changing her mind at the last minute and trying to take it back, it didn't work, and they killed everyone. The end. This season of Picard was already over before it began, but I guess I can pretend this is real just long enough to shit all over it. And so, let the shitting begin. The opening sequence, with the music and the visuals, combine to form a stinking piece of garbage that's a complete waste of time. Seriously, this title sequence is so abstracted, with such generic music, if boredom was intestinal gas, I'd fart myself straight to the fucking moon. Screw Paramount and CBS for putting out such substandard shit. But hey, let's see what other turds are floating in this bowl. So, right after the opening credits lull me into a sleep, I wake up and I have to laugh right away because the opening of the show is kind of a perfect metaphor for Star Trek Picard. It depicts Picard playing a record, yes, a vinyl record, which screams authenticity, haha. Playing Time Is on My Side. Only it's not the original version of the song. See, Paramount Minus has no money. They're broke ass because they're woke ass, and they couldn't afford to license the original Rolling Stones version, so they get a generic woman studio singer to re-record it super cheap. Though why this cheap knockoff would be on vinyl, God only knows, and Picard has the supreme lack of taste to play it. So let's get this straight right here, folks. We have a robot programmed to think it's Picard playing a cheap knockoff of a popular song in a dead universe that's pretending to still be alive. Is there anything about this shitty show so far that's authentic?
Yes, you're disgust.
You're right, Harvey. This series is nothing but tawdry manipulation, using a lot of phony bullshit designed to sucker Star Trek fans into believing this is authentic Star Trek, and not a knockoff as cheap as a re-recording of a Rolling Stones song by some hired-by-the-hour studio chick does indeed make me puke hard. Maybe that's what makes this Star Trek puke hard, but I digress. So we have a scene with Picard and his super hot Romulan MILF maid lounging around drinking wine all romantical, which begs the question, why would a Romulan woman be interested in porking a doddering old man who isn't even a man anymore? He's a robot. Picard died in the first season.
And why is a robot drinking wine? But hey, regarding the Romulan MILF, look, he's a robot, yes, but lots of ladies like vibrators, right? Even old bald ones. Thing is, Doomcock, Picard died in season 1, but so did she, since the AIs came and killed everyone. So it's a dead woman wanting to get romantically involved with a dead man who's a vibrator. Makes perfect sense.
Pretty much, Harvey. They're all dead, Picard is a fucking robot, and this series is a complete waste of time. The end. All that said, let's play along with the con a little longer, Harvey, just to make fun of it. Unlike Drekkies, we recognize when someone is shit in our Raisin Bran, and we stop eating it. But it's stupid that this super strong Romulan woman would be romantically interested in an aged weakling like Picard, robot or no. Women don't generally go for men that they can shatter to pieces with a simple breaking of the wind.
Maybe she admires his many achievements. No, wait, that's wrong. He's dead. This is just a robot, and he doesn't have any achievements.
Exactly. And she's dead. She died in season 1, along with every other life form in the galaxy.
I see dead people when I watch season 2 of Star Trek Picard.
I see a dead franchise when I watch season 2 of Star Trek Picard. And at the end of this scene, the Romulan MILF asks Picard, "Why have you chosen to be alone?"
The answer, of course, being, because I'm dead and I'm just a robot now. That kind of limits your presence on social media.
That would do it. You can't even elude the CAPTCHA screen that asks, "Are you a robot?" So much for space Twitter. So now we get Picard having a flashback to his childhood when he wore a cap so big, it made him look like one of the mushrooms that powers the Discovery. Anyway, no idea why this flashback is happening. It's not worth a squirt of hot piss in a cold shower. But at the end of it, young Picard looks up at the stars, and we fly through space until we come across, what else? A spatial anomaly.
Oh no, not another fucking spatial anomaly. Not again. Every fucking season of Kurtzman Trek is a goddamn spatial anomaly in it. Kurtzman and Goldsman don't know how to do anything else.
Other than gouging eyes out, dropping F-bombs, and writing horrible lines like, "This is the power of math, people," and "I like science." So anyway, Picard doesn't address to a graduating class of Starfleet, where Lamolus the Romulan archer elf has graduated.
Hey, are the Starfleet badges still 25% different?
Oh yes. The badges are still hollow, split down the middle, hideous parodies of the original Starfleet badges. Nothing on this show is authentic Star Trek. It's all as phony as a robot Picard who still has prostate problems and a knockoff of Time Is On My Side, not by the Rolling Stones. So next up, we have a stupid scene with 7 of 9 repelling thieves on Rio's fucking ship, with Rio's helping her. Like we give a shit about any of them. Funny thing is, the theme of inauthenticity continues, since in this scene it's not Rios from season 1, it's a hologram of Rios that 7 of 9 is working with.
So we have a phony robot Picard, phony Time Is On My Side, phony hologram Rios. Basically, Kurtzman Trek is the cubic zirconia of science fiction.
Yep, a worthless knockoff of something precious. That's the perfect one-sentence summary of Star Trek Picard, Harvey. It's tempting to stop the review here, but we're going on, by God. When there's this much suck at the party, you have to dance with the one who shit on your foot. So there's a pointless scene with Agnes, aka Dr. Blondie, the cyberneticist who murdered Bruce Maddox in the first season, yet somehow never got punished or went to jail for it.
Which is as phony as Robot Picard and a cheap, affordable knockoff of Time Is On My Side and a hologram Rios.
Yep, she absolutely murdered Bruce Maddox in cold blood, but she wasn't punished for it at all because the so-called writers of this excrement think that audiences are too stupid to remember that little factoid.
Hey, maybe he's right. Anyone that watches Star Trek Picard is stupid. Reviewers forced to watch being the exception, of course.
Well, of course. Star Trek Picard is to intelligence what a kick in the head by a syphilitic mule is to intelligence. So, where were we? Ah yes, so apparently Rios has somehow been promoted to be the captain of a starship. In fact, not of any starship, but of Picard's old ship, the Stargazer.
What the actual fuck?
No shit, Harvey. Get this, gang. Yet another bit of phoniness in Star Trek Picard. Think of all the career Starfleet cadets and officers who work all their lives to get a command of their own. Then comes along this dumb fuck soccer-playing, hologram-loving criminal who covered up multiple murders as a Starfleet officer, then got kicked out, then became a privateer smuggler, and then lo and behold, Picard says, this guy is all right. And bada bing, bada boom, he's a captain in Starfleet again. Jumping to the head of the pack.
Yeah, just like in JJ Trek, when Kirk goes from being a cadet to a captain in one movie. Boom! Take that, Evelyn Wood!
Just like Mikey Spock was a mutineer who started a war and assaulted her captain, and eventually got her captain killed by Klingons, which of course makes her the bestest ever! Bloody hell! This whole thing makes me feel like I had my brain stomped out, pissed on, eaten, digested, pooped out, molded roughly into the shape of a brain, then reinserted into my own head, all of which leaves me drooling, incontinent, and wondering why all of a sudden my ears smell like shit.
The Star Trek Picard experience, coming soon in a snuff film near you.
Yep, everyone's dead on this show, even Picard, who is now a robot. Shit. It's almost like Alex Kurtzman and Akiva Goldsman had their brains stomped out, pissed on, eaten, digested, pooped out, molded roughly into the shape of a brain, then reinserted in their heads, all of which resulted in, well, Star Trek Picard.
I believe you've perfectly captured the writing process at Secret Hideout. So let's get back to the dreaded Space Anomaly, a copy of a Xerox of a print of a clone of a duplicate of every single Kurtzman Trek season ever made.
Yeah. 7 and 9 saw the Anomaly after she zapped the robbers, pew, pew, and she was like, what the fuck? And they went to commercial. So here we are, Rios is in command of the Stargazer, and somehow Dr. Blondie, the cyberneticist murderer, is not only not in jail, she's like his second in command or something, sitting right next to him on the bridge.
I guess since Rios covered up a murder and got kicked out of Starfleet for it, and she got away with murder, it makes sense they'd be together, right? Though it begs the question, why would a cyberneticist murderer be on a Starfleet vessel?
If the toaster in the galley keeps burning the toast, maybe she can talk it into killing itself. Fuck, Harvey, I don't know. I didn't write this shit. Maybe it's because everyone on this show is dead and this is all fan fiction, and by fan fiction, I mean bullshit.
You think?
I do. So Rios, in command of the Stargazer, has to go investigate the anomaly, and I really hope we get to see them all die once again. And even worse, the broken down drunk sleazebag Raffi, who hated Starfleet in the first season, well, she's back in Starfleet. So basically, these so-called writers, and I use the term with so much sarcasm I have blood in my urine from the strain, are just disregarding everything that happened in season 1. They can't even keep their own shit straight.
Hey, if you stunk that bad, you'd want to forget about it too.
Touche. So Raffi and Picard have a conversation too boring and pointless to talk about, and Picard gives a book written by Spock, of all people, to Lamulus, the Romulan elf. And somehow Raffi is also in command of her own ship. So all the murderers, liars, criminals, drunks, robots, and fuck-ups in Starfleet get to command their own ships. This is Starfleet, where fuck-ups go to fly.
Second star to the right, and straight on till boring.
So Rios arrives at the dreaded and redundant Spatial Anomaly, and 7 of 9 is there with Rios' old ship. Then the anomaly disrupts their communications, and Dr. Blondie analyzes a signal from the anomaly, which is a distress signal in various languages, saying, "Help us, Picard." Then we cut to Los Angeles, which looks phony as fuck, even for CGI, and Picard is going to go see Guinan, who is running a bar called 10. So yeah, we see Guinan, who's wearing a red tent, stolen, I think, from Cirque du Soleil, and Picard talks to Guinan about being lonely. Everyone in the show, Raffi, his MILF maid, Guinan, everyone is telling him that he's lonely. So he goes and asks Guinan, "Why am I so lonely and alone?"
Does she say, well, that's kind of normal when you're dead. When you drop dead, it tends to clear your social calendar.
Guinan should say that, but basically she tells him he won't find his answers in the stars, and he should drink.
Seriously? So once again, this was a pointless scene?
Yes, exactly. Guinan is basically a completely pointless member berry. Her scene with Picard is as worthless as every other scene in this snuff film, so an admiral goes and tells Picard he's got to talk to the anomaly.
How does the admiral do this? With a Ouija board or something? Because she's dead too, right?
Oh yeah. She's dead as Dillinger, but CBS wanted another season of Picard, so they're pretending the writers didn't kill off everyone on Star Trek through sheer incompetence, so what the hell, we'll play along, at least for long enough to complete this review. Alas, Star Trek Picard, the search for even one decent scene, continues to disappoint with fake bullshit. Get this, Harvey. Who does Picard hate more than anyone?
The Borg.
So he goes over to the so-called Stargazer and is told by 7 of 9 that the ship incorporates Borg technology in it, and Picard is fine with it. His beloved Stargazer is defiled with Borg technology as Picard himself was.
Well, when you're dead and pretending to be alive in a robot body, who cares anymore? The worst part of it is, Picard is in a robot body, but it's a body that still ages, has only a few more years to live, and still has to pee 5 times a night, because it still has a swollen prostate. That's why this show is called Star Trek Pee Hard.
Because a swollen prostate makes it hard to pee.
Correctamundo! Anyway, they go to the anomaly, and what? He asked, as if he actually cared.
Turns out it's a Borg ship of some kind.
Are you kidding? A fucking Borg ship?
I shit you not, Harvey. Once again, they've gone to a fucking spatial anomaly. They've gone to the Borg. Oh my god. Pretty soon, I bet you they go to Q and time travel.
Isn't it funny how that works out?
No, not really. Not really funny at all. Anyway, the Borg ship calls out to Picard. Rios asks Picard what to do, and he says, I don't know. 7 of 9 yells at Picard about how bad the Borg are, but the whole scene is ludicrous because we don't have any idea what the Borg want at this point, so all this debate is pointless. We don't even know what they want. They haven't expressed any demands, questions, dirty limericks, instructions on how to make Windows 10 not suck. And 7 of 9 is all hysterical hating on the Borg, but Picard just seems tired and bored.
He always hated the Borg.
No. You're thinking of Star Trek, Harvey. This isn't Star Trek. This is Kurtzman Trek.
Oh, right.
So yeah, Borg tries to beam over through the shields, says we wish for peace, then extends tentacles and stabs them into the ship, sucking power. 7 of 9 shoots at this Borg, which looks nothing like a Borg at all. Forget 25% different, it's 100% different, covered in black like a hijab or something. The Borg fires back, there's a big shootout on the bridge. Rio says cease fire, but he's a dead guy, so the rest of the crew that is also dead ignores him. Everything goes to shit, and lo and behold, the Borg uses the Borg tech so wisely incorporated into the Stargazer to assimilate not only the Stargazer, but the whole fucking fleet that showed up to assist. So Picard tells the ship to self-destruct, and hilariously, the ship starts playing music. The exact French music that was played in Inception to jolt the dreamers out of their dreams.
Oh, shit. It's like these dumb fucks were like, hey, this here is science fiction music from a science fiction movie. Let's rip it off so we seem all science fiction-y too.
It doesn't work, Harvey. Unless maybe this is Inception. Maybe the entire Kurtzman Trek universe is some kind of bullshit dream and now we're all gonna wake up.
Maybe. So Picard blows up the Stargazer and kills everyone on the show, even though they were already dead. A happy ending.
Pretty much, Harvey. No need to watch the rest of this contemptible calamity. They all died. The end. Again.
So this is the best episode of Kurtzman Trek ever!
No, Harvey. Sadly, Picard blows up and wakes up back at home with a hilariously bad, oversized Starfleet badge on in a weird, evil Picard jacket.
For fuck's sake. He's in a totalitarian, evil Starfleet universe, right?
Yep. Once again, Kurtzman has to degrade and abuse Star Trek with yet another glimpse of a hateful dystopian universe. And then Q shows up for some reason. Though why Q would bother taunting a fucking robot copy of Picard makes absolutely zero sense. But hey, Q is yet another member berry, just like Guinan, meant to make the mental defectives in the audience go huzzah! Me, I just wanted to puke. Hard. And that concludes my review of Star Trek Puke Hard, Season 2, Episode 1. I think it's safe to say I'm disgusted, and I will never forgive Viacom, CBS, or Paramount Minus or Paramount Global Blight again. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha